Welcome, listeners and viewers, far and wide, from the heights of the Himalayas to the heights of Jackson. I'm Eirik Gislason. I already got my first eye roll. I'm Eirik Gislason, associate broker and team leader of the Excelsior team at Brown Harris Stevens, master certified negotiation expert and instructor, founder of Archway Partners Coaching, and your host of Shear Line Negotiation Mastery, the podcast bound and determined to reclaim and restore the good name of negotiation and unlock the door to value creation, win-win solutions, and the true power of integrative negotiation. All right, today's episode, you may have already heard the giggles. Today's episode's a little different, and I'm really excited about it. We're looking back at some of the biggest themes and most useful takeaways from this season so far on Shear Line. We talked about mindset, intimidation, culture, limiting beliefs, leadership, intelligence, rivalry, silence, complicated markets, and relationships. But instead of just giving you my perspective, and I decided to bring back to the Shear Line studio two of the smartest and most thoughtful, opinionated, and entertaining people I know, my daughters, Cece and Sydney. Because as we know, the art of negotiation is not just something that happens in a sales job or a leadership role. It shows up in school, friendships, family, sports, group projects, and every moment where people are trying to be heard, understood, persuasive, or trying to create consensus or compromise. Negotiation is everywhere. And sometimes we need a little perspective to understand that we are all navigating our day-to-day lives through a series of negotiations, no matter what stage in life we're in. So Cici and Sydney, welcome back to Shear Line Negotiation Mastery. I'm so glad you're here.
Hold for applause.
Okay. Slow clap. All right, welcome back. Now, you were here once before, last year in season 1.
Yes.
It was amazing. You were both amazing. You were
better.
Okay, you were better. I will hold for. We'll see what happens after the end of this podcast. Slow clap from Cece. So, can you remind our audience, tell our audience a little bit about yourselves? We'll start with Cece. Tell our audience something about you.
Okay, so I am going into 9th grade. I go to Hunter College High School, and I enjoy reading literature. I like to draw, though mostly the only thing that I can draw well is hands. And I
It's
also
a very specific niche artistic talent.
I don't know. And I also like theater and performing arts, but not dancing. I'm really inflexible.
My name's Sydney. I'm going into 6th grade. I like to collect ducks, as we can see here on the table. I have more in the bag under there. I like slingshotting. I like to do art.
She
and
threatened me with a slingshot this morning.
She brought it with her.
I did.
She's got a slingshot in her pocketbook.
It's not a pocketbook. It's
I don't even know if that's legal. Anyway, Father of the Year. I'm up for Father of the Year again, by the way, this year.
You moved your microphone.
And I like gradients when I draw. I like to do it with markers. And I'm also into theater and performing arts.
Tell me a little bit more about these ducks.
Okay. So, I named all of them.
Except for two.
I
named.
Okay, we named all of them. And yeah, so I memorized all of them.
Okay.
This is Cobalt, this is Zora, and then there are a bunch of other ones that I'm not going to name because that's going to take too long.
Okay, one test. What's the one with the little scoop of dollop of whipped cream?
Candy.
You were supposed to answer before.
Oh, well, it's candy.
Right.
What are you doing? This is a podcast. It's audio.
Well, it's video
people
too.
are watching.
I know, but it's
All right, well, let's get to it.
show.
I'm going to ask you some questions based on some of the episodes that we had this season, and I'm really excited to get your perspective on some of these.
Me too.
Well, I'm going to start with an episode that posed a question: how good is my intelligence? All right. So, and this episode, you know the guest really well, Jake Feldman. All right.
Yes.
So I'm going to take a break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about this question and key takeaway from that episode from season 2 of Shear Line. We'll see you right back.
I'm Mark Lawrence, a founding partner of Worldwide Land Transfer. As a former real estate agent and attorney, I understand this business from every angle. We specialize in the complex transactions that define the luxury market: trust, LLCs, estates, and inherited properties. For more information, contact me directly at 917-204-5363.
All right, and welcome back. We're here with Cici and Sydney, and as I said, we're going to start with an episode from this season with Jake Feldman, and we talked about the title of that episode was "How Good Is My Intelligence?" We talked about the quality of information and that we use to make decisions, and one of the most important ideas from that conversation was the need to separate what we know from what we think we know, and what we still need to know or what we're assuming. So, bad assumptions can create bad strategies, and sometimes we make decisions based on stories we've invented without even realizing it. So my question for you, Cece and Sydney, well, I'll start with you, Sid. Have you ever assumed something about someone or something and then later changed your position when you had more information?
So, in school, there's this one teacher that everybody said, like all the 5th grade alums, I guess, said was like most 5th grade, most of them said that she was a bad teacher. Nobody really respected her. And then when I was in 5th grade, which is this year, she turned out to be really a good teacher. And
I had her as my 5th grade teacher as well, and I also liked her.
So what when you got new information, what was the new information that you got once you arrived in school? Because I imagine you were pretty nervous if you thought she was not going to be a great teacher. Were you pretty nervous about that?
Yeah.
So you made assumptions and you started telling yourself stories about how the year's going to go, I imagine.
Yes.
So once you met her, what was the information that you got that made you start to think differently about her?
Well, she was really nice and welcoming when we all came into the classroom. I think the reason that nobody really respected her is because she didn't do a lot of fun things in class. It was usually math, and I like that. So maybe that's why.
So there's also there's also some perspective there, right? Or some preference, like your preferences didn't match up with some other people's preference, and maybe they just wanted to have fun and goof around, but you were ready for, okay. Yes,
right, and it was also in earlier, in that school, in earlier grades, it was younger kids, it was, the teachers did do a lot of and now we're going to take a break and do something fun, and I think that in 4th grade, 5th grade, it starts getting a little more serious on work.
It's kind of a shift.
Right, because, you get, you're going out of elementary school, right? So you've got to, be prepared for, actually having a workload, right? Because when you're, when you're young in elementary school, you just get, weekly homework packets, right?
Yeah, and that's actually really interesting and intuitive as well, because what some people's expectation might be or what their opinion is frames the information they give you, right? So they have an opinion and they give you something that seems like fact. And so we take it as fact, especially if we trust that person or we like that person. We take that information as fact. And when we do that, that might cloud our judgment and we might be making assumptions. So it's important that we get to the source and really understand what the truth is, right? Cece, do you have one that you can think of?
Well, I also wanted to say something about Sid's story.
Go
It's
ahead.
When you have an expectation or you make an assumption and then what you get is incorrect, I feel like people can also have the tendency to perceive things as the other extreme, away from their expectation, just because of the sort of subconscious surprise and rejection of that expectation.
I think that's really beautifully said. So that idea that you were thought it was going to be more fun or more like 2nd or 3rd grade, it was a little bit more work, and so now it goes from just being a little different to being something that's that's bad or the teacher is bad or things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. All right. Well, let's move on to the next question, right?
You
Wait,
skipped me.
Cece
Oh,
didn't
do- oh,
say
yes,
anything.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Oh, dramatic. All right, here. Tell us what you think.
So, we recently went to
Oh my
this
God.
comedy show, and it was for like younger kids.
Yeah.
Dad.
Yeah,
but
that was me.
and so I was kind of expecting it to be like,
Yeah.
but it actually had like, but it wasn't like a waste of my time. It was actually good. It was like
Wow.
fun. Some parts of it were,
Cece's
like
review. It wasn't a waste of time.
it was like pretty good. There were some parts that were definitely like geared toward little kids, but there were parts that were like funny and I liked them.
That's a great example because I felt
Geared
the
toward
same way.
little kids, but
When we
funny.
walked in and got our tickets and I looked around the lobby, it was all like 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds. And here I am with my teenage daughter and I'm like, oh, what did I do? What did I do?
was
But
also like, oh,
I
what did
know
you do?
were. I know you were. I could feel the
I
dust
wasn't there.
And I know it was just the two of us, but we sat
Thank
down
goodness.
and the show started and then there was a lot of moments that older people could enjoy. So I was very, very thankful as well. I was dreading dragging you through that for an hour and a half if it was bad, but it was good. Yeah. Good. That's a great example. All right. Well, let's see. Another episode titled The Wellness Factor, Better Mindset, Better Outcomes. In that episode, I spoke to Sarah Rotter, who's my director of sales in my office, about the connection between wellness, mindset, and performance. And one of the biggest takeaways from that conversation was that emotional regulation directly affects how calm, clear, patient, and effective we are when we're under pressure. So I'll start with you this time, Cece. When you're stressed or overwhelmed, what do you do to calm yourself so that you can make better decisions?
Well, let's see. A lot of what makes me feel overwhelmed is like my workload. So I usually just do like, well, I don't know if it calms me down. It sort of like makes me more prepared to like do the next thing. If I'm trying to if I'm writing this thing called like a formal literary essay, and I'm having trouble deciding which quote to analyze or whatever, then I'll ask somebody else, which of these two do you think I should do?
Mm-hmm.
Or I will do this thing. I will do productive procrastination. So I'll go and I'll
Tell me about productive procrastination.
back with the flea, or if I'm stuck on, or if I'm doing outline notes for one of my classes, and I have a problem with outline notes because they are not outline notes. They are just notes. And so it takes
take
me
a
a
lot of
really
notes.
long time.
Uh-huh.
So I'll go if I should work on my flea that's due on Friday, or if I should do my outline notes that are due tomorrow morning, instead I will go and do my math homework that is due tomorrow afternoon.
Uh-huh.
And then I don't feel guilty for procrastinating, and then I go back to doing whatever I'm supposed to be doing when I can't wriggle out of it anymore.
Okay, you called it productive procrastination?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. So you you say, okay, I need a break from this, and you go to something else that's moving the ball forward, so to speak.
Yeah.
So it's not just like playing a video game or taking a complete break. You're just shifting your time to do something that you can also move forward on, but knowing that at some point you got to get back to this task.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's really great. Now, we talk about time blocking too. You do a lot of time blocking, right? With your work?
Only
Or we
when people make me.
Right. We try to do that, right?
Yeah.
So you stay on task that way. But I love that. If you're feeling overwhelmed, to just leave it for a moment, take a break, do something else, and if that's productive procrastination, that's probably better than a lot of people do in those moments where they're overwhelmed. I love it. Sid, how about you?
Okay,
I mean,
so
productive procrastination only works because I have so much work to do.
okay.
I think we might have to trademark that name.
It's already a word.
Oh, it is?
I didn't make it up.
yeah,
I didn't
Cece,
make
come on.
I'm not.
Yeah, Dad, come on. Get it
All
right.
right, Sid, your turn.
When I'm overwhelmed, okay, this is like a little strange, but I like to do math
Okay.
because like I feel like sometimes in life it's like things, if I don't know how to do something, it's like my schedule can change, things I do after school can change and stuff. When I do math, 3 times 3 is always 9. Like 5 times 2 is always 10, so it never changes. I also like to listen to music because sometimes it's calming.
Yeah.
I mean, and people say that music and math are very similar, very connected.
It's so true. But I love that idea. Like, yeah, the music is kind of like something that has patterns and equations and has
an artistic expression of mathematical thing. I don't really know that much.
But that idea of choosing to do something where there's not a lot of ambiguity, where it's factual, right? You do a math problem and you know that the answer is going to correspond to the input, right? What the equation is, the answer is going to correspond, and it's a factual outcome, and that calms you down. I love that answer. Both of those answers are great. All right, let's move on to the next one. So another one of our episodes, and this is one of the live episodes we did, was called The Triple Win: How Culture Creates Better Deals and Better Teams. And I spoke with a guy named Mike Morgan, who's from Texas, about leadership, teamwork, and the role culture plays in better outcomes. And the big takeaway from that episode was that culture shapes results before the negotiation even starts. Trust, curiosity, psychological safety make it easier for people to be honest, solve problems, and create better outcomes together. So, Sydney, I'll start with you. What makes a group, a team, a class, a friend circle feel safe enough for people to actually be honest with each other?
Well, like my friend group now got connected by this one person who moved away.
Okay.
She was friends with some other kids who are now my friends in class, and then she was also friends with me and a couple of other kids, but those two groups didn't really know each other. But when she moved, we were all kind of like, oh, we all knew Anna. Or we all knew this one kid.
It's okay.
Don't use names.
You could say.
And
Hi, Anna.
Dad, please don't. And so we all kind of like got together because we all knew this one person.
That I love. So you had a common trust and relationship with one person. So like from the transitive property, you knew that you could probably trust and that you would probably like each other.
Yes.
That's amazing. Cece, do you have one?
Yeah, I think personally I need to spend a good amount of time, like a goodly amount of time with people to get to for me to be able to not be awkward around them.
Okay.
I feel like but then for me I can definitely be it's easy for me to be vulnerable about my actions if it's not met with actual heavy critique, if it's met with actual sympathy, and hopefully my friends would say the same. For emotionally I'm not super honest with people about that, but that's just me. But yeah.
Okay, I think that you bring up a really good point, because that's what psychological safety is, right? It's that freedom, or the feeling that you can say things, do things, that you can make mistakes, that you can put yourself out there, that you can be vulnerable with the group of people that you're in, whether it's your company, whether it's the leaders in your company or the coworkers that you work with or your friends, that there's not going to be negative repercussions, or there's not going to be a negative outcome for you to do something that may put you out there, that may expose you.
Right, but I need to be for me personally, I need to be sure. I'm not vulnerable on just by trusting. so that's not
So
great.
what do the friends that do create that psychological safety, what happens so that you get to that place where you feel safe around them?
I feel like sometimes they'll like they can let themselves be a little more vulnerable around me, and then it's like you know how when somebody like it's like feeling like you are in a position of power gives you the ability to be vulnerable because you don't feel like you'll lose anything.
Wow. That's beautifully said.
Thank you.
Well, okay, so on that note, I don't think we can even say it any better than that. We'll take a break and we'll come back right after this.
From residential and commercial closings to litigation, Romer DeBoss is your full-service real estate law firm. We blend big firm knowledge with boutique-level attention, delivering outcomes that exceed every expectation. Contact us at romerdeboss.com.
I'm Brian Scott Cohen, one of the top loan originators in the country, and the #1 mortgage originator at Guaranteed Rate Infinity. Guaranteed Rate Infinity arguably has the most advanced tech in the industry. Our completely digital loan process makes it easy and efficient for homeowners, from a 15-minute pre-approval to the digital application and through closing. My team and I would love to help you get into the home of your dreams.
All right, and we are back. Now, let's turn the page to another one of my favorite episodes from this season, Overcoming Limiting Beliefs in Negotiation. And I spoke to an amazing agent named Matthew Winter about confidence, self-belief, and the stories we tell ourselves before we even enter a difficult conversation. So one of the key ideas from that episode was that limiting beliefs quietly shape our performance. So if you believe you're bad at something, not ready, you're not strong enough, or not the kind of person that can succeed, that belief can become a part of your result. So Cici and Sydney, I'll start with you, Sid. What's something kids, you or other kids, teenagers, tell themselves that they're bad at before they even give themselves a chance?
Well, my God. Like, probably like when we're writing essays in class, they're like, I'm not gonna get a good grade on this. I'm not gonna. This isn't good,
Yeah.
or something. And they're just like typing. They're like, this isn't very good. I'm not gonna
type in the words, this isn't very good.
No, they're like typing their essay, and they're like, this isn't gonna be good. I'm not gonna get a full grade. And then
Do you know
Acknowledgements.
what we call that when you say stuff like that?
self-doubt.
It creates self-doubt, but it's negative self-talk, where you're saying things to yourself to make yourself feel like you're not capable, you're not confident, you're not enough, you're not good enough to do it. And so you say those things, and as Matt talked about in this episode, a lot of that stuff creeps into the results that we get. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. We say these things that kind of tell us that we're not doing a good job, or that we're not probably going to get a good grade. And so we start psychologically changing the effort that we put into that thing in order to succeed. So that's a great example. Cece, do you have an example?
Well, personally, I definitely go in because my school has it's a very competitive school, and the theater, it's very competitive because like everybody's like everybody in the theater community is like really good.
Yeah.
And so I definitely go into like auditions with like, yeah, I'm not gonna get cast. Why would I get cast? And
Yeah.
I don't. So
Well, and it's hard because when you're in, not just you, but anybody. You know, we talk to the audience that we have. A lot of them are real estate professionals or involved in sales, and like your theater program, it's an incredibly competitive environment. And so when we go into that competition, when we're competing for a listing or to work with a buyer, we have to audition the way that's kind of in the same way that you audition for a role. And if we go into it thinking, I probably won't get this, or I don't deserve it, or I'm not as good as the other people, if we don't go into it with a level of self-efficacy, which is that idea of like, I can do this specific task, I am capable of doing this, or that overall self-confidence, which is I am good at doing things. I'm capable of doing things, and failures don't define me, right? That I measure myself by all of the things that I have done well and that I can do well, not by the possibility that I might fail. And but you're not alone, Cece. It's a very common thing, especially when you're in a competitive environment and the people around you are older, more seasoned, they have had more time on stage, right? So thank you for being vulnerable about that. That's great.
While Cece was talking, I almost grabbed my microphone and tried to take a drink.
It's on camera, so I'm sure that Ray is going to isolate you on the camera. You just trying to take a sip of your microphone.
I was like going like that. Instead, I didn't like actually grab it and like. Because I don't know how that would happen.
Day, I was like drinking from a cup, and I went to put it in the sink, and I like opened the trash can.
Great. That's why that cup was in the trash. I'm just kidding.
I almost put a spoon in the garbage can too.
All right. I'm going to move on to another episode, another great episode. And you as the audience should go back and watch all of these full episodes because they're full of amazing takeaways.
This is not an ad for the other episodes.
It is. All right. So in episode 205, I was honored to have real estate icon and my former boss, by the way, Richard Gman, on leadership and long-term growth. And I spoke to Richard about leadership, about career growth, about relationships, and what it takes to build something meaningful over time, as he has done in his long, long career in real estate. And the big takeaway from that was that long-term success is not built. That long-term success is not built only on short-term wins. It's built through collaboration. It's built through reputation, skill development, generosity, and the ability to keep growing. So one of the questions I have for the two of you, I'll start with Cece. What do you think are some of the qualities that make someone a good leader?
I think the ability to like sort of be able to act like the people who you're leading are personally connected to you, address them like individuals, like act with them like individuals, but then also you're able to like draw back and not lead for the sake of an individual, like lead for the group, and that includes that the leader themselves as an individual.
Wow, I love that. So being personable enough and being connected to your team in a way that you know them personally, that you know them individually, but that you can also make decisions that are best for the group, even though it might not be best for one individual.
Yeah.
Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah.
I think that's an incredible attribute of a leader. That's great. Sid, do you have one?
I think like being able to like control the people, like having like kind of like a higher stance than them. Like in chess, the queen is like the leader kind of because she's the most powerful. But like she's not the one who's like, I do this instead of you. She's like, she knows that other people have to do things, but like she's able to like take control of them and like make sure they're like in line.
Use people's like abilities where they're needed and like able to delegate.
Yeah, and that she listens to them. I'm not sure how a queen on a chessboard listens to other pieces.
I want to be in one of your chess matches where your queen is like, okay.
It's like wizard chess.
Exactly. But I love that because in chess, it is true, like Cece was saying, that there is a delegation of skills and responsibilities in chess, right? Even though they're not communicating with each other, each piece moves differently and has its own advantages in the way that it can create an advantage on the chessboard, right? So, and that's a really cool thing about chess from a strategy standpoint is that you've got all these different pieces and they've got different roles and responsibilities and ways that they move that can end up having a huge contribution in the game.
I also feel like the best leaders don't lead because they want to lead. They lead because they don't want fear to lead.
Ooh,
That's
say more about
deep.
that.
Right, because like when fear rules, it's like powerful and the leader or whatever is like utilizing the fear has control. I mean, it's also a bit volatile to have fear lead because it could definitely lead to like revolutions or like angry mobs
We're
and
thinking
such.
very deep into this.
No, I love it.
What if it's just like a chess club or like a yearbook club?
Well, that could end with an angry mob too.
Club mob. The yearbook club mob is gonna come after you, wielding their like cameras, and I don't actually know what yearbook club staff.
But you make a great point, Cece.
they
That
have
leading
yearbooks.
by fear and what that can lead to, from how do the people that you're leading feel?
Yeah.
How do they feel? That you may be able to control them. You may be able to tell them exactly what to do and keep your thumb on the scale, so to speak. But what's happening underneath as this team becomes less and less, becomes more and more disenchanted with the leader themselves.
Right.
What's happening
It'll build
underneath
up.
is how the yearbook club gets an angry mob after
That's
them.
right.
Yeah, with your torches lit by like I don't
Like,
I don't know anything
the
about
reflection of the
photography.
camera into like like how the sun, when the sun goes into the camera, like the magnifying glass, how people
Oh yeah, that would,
weirdos used to burn
That's
ants.
by photo developing fluid.
Daddy, you used to do
no,
that? Okay.
of course not. All right, we're gonna move on. Awkward silence. We're gonna move on to what we haven't done in a couple episodes, so I'm glad to bring it back. We're gonna bring back the lightning round. Do you remember the lightning round?
Yes.
We have theme music. Do you remember how the theme music goes?
Da-na-na-na.
No, no, that's copyright. We can't use that. No, our theme music goes.
Boo.
All right.
I like it.
Thank you. Favorite daughter. All right. So,
Excuse me.
all right. So lightning round. Sydney, what are you most excited about for this summer?
This summer, probably going to camp and upping my slingshot skill.
Yeah.
Talk faster. It's the lightning round.
So where do you go to
words.
camp?
In Iowa, Camp Foster.
Because
Nice.
that's normal.
This is not an ad for Camp Foster.
She did like
I
weird.
can actually wink very well, but that was fake.
How about you, Cece? What are you excited about for this summer?
Well, let's see. I do like going to Camp Foster. I also like seeing my cousins. And
That too.
I feel like one thing though, I do like having like kind of like a more regulated schedule, and so summer I feel like I could fritter it away very easily. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard when you're
Fritter is a
used
good
to
word.
when you're used to a pretty heavy schedule. It's kind of hard when all of a sudden it's like open season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Start with you, Cece. What are you most excited about going back to school? What excites you most about going back to school in the fall?
Well, so my school Hunter School musical, or like for the fall musical, is going to be Come From Away, and I love that as a musical, and I think there's a very easy way. That's also copyrighted.
Yeah,
Okay.
And it's like it is a small, like as like a show, it is a small cast, but you can expand it so and it's like an ensemble show. So I think hopefully I'll at least make callbacks.
Yeah. Well,
Yay.
hey, remember that positive mindset, right?
Wait, let's hear
Positive
the
mindset.
Newfoundlander accent.
Yeah. Let's hear it. All right. we should,
No.
That wasn't even
Oh, okay.
I'm not that yet. Okay. Wait, this is gonna be really bad.
Okay, yeah, I'll give
Hang
you
on,
a
hang
line to say. Do the, well, I'm glad I phoned line.
Like the when will they be coming?
Yeah.
When will they be coming? Any minute now? Well, I'm glad I phoned. That was really bad.
Yeah,
That was
that's
really
good.
bad.
All
That
right.
was really bad. That was really bad.
okay.
Dad,
Sid.
I don't even have a trigger phrase. I need a trigger.
That's okay. We'll get you a trigger phrase.
My
Sid,
trigger phrase for Minnesotan accent is a bag of bagels.
Let's hear it.
That's
Let's hear it.
Nope.
A bag of bagels.
No, because a bag of bagels.
All right. So, Sid, what are you most excited about going back to school? You're going to new school next year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So probably having like a fresh start, because like not a lot of people know me. Hopefully, because that would be scary.
Isn't Toby going?
No,
Oh,
he's
okay.
going to. Cece, we don't say names on the show.
So continue.
What about teriyaki?
I don't think so. But okay, now stop talking. None of them are going. You're just picking names out of a hat. Anyways, so like not a lot of people know me that I know, but hopefully they don't know me. I played volleyball with some of them at recess. But yeah, so like I kind of like having that as something.
I love it. Okay, a question that I want to have you answer because it means something for me. I'm up for Dad of the Year again this year. 2026.
Everybody.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Kevin. Yes, Dad of the
You
Year.
said that the same thing at the chaperone of the year at my field trip.
Well, I'm up for a lot of the years. That's
came,
my thing.
You came once.
So am I winning?
Like aspect of your identity can be
year.
can be nominated for of the year.
Yes, exactly.
Dad, you're the best dad I have.
That's right. And that's all I need to hear. Cease, am I up for the award?
Nope. Sure.
Yes. All right.
You know
Am I
what your
getting a
award's
car?
gonna be?
What?
A kick in the face.
Wow.
Sid, you're my second favorite sister.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm honored.
On that note, girls, it's been yet another pleasure having you. We'll have you back next year, I hope, for another round to learn more negotiation tips from you guys. I'm so thankful you're here. Thank you for joining me today.
We won't be
No
right
comment.
back after these non-messages.
No, we're going to go to takeaways.
Okay.
Do you want to take us to a break with your...
Oh yes.
Okay.
We'll be right back after these messages.
This beautiful set here at Studio 1873 is brought to you by the Everset. The Everset provides full-service staging and furniture rental solutions in the New York area. We work with Brown Harris Stevens and many other top real estate firms, staging their homes to sell quickly and at the highest price possible. Our staging is affordable without sacrificing quality or design. For more information, please visit us at staging.theeverset.com or email us at staging@theeverset.com to request a free proposal.
And we are back, and we're going to go to key takeaways. All right, so this has been a really special episode, as I mentioned, so thank you for being here. Not only because we got to look back at some of the biggest ideas from season 2 of Shear Line thus far, but because I got to do it with two of my favorite people in the world, Cici and Sydney. So far this season, we've covered a lot of ground, from intelligence and assumptions to wellness, mindset, hard bargaining, culture, limiting beliefs, leadership, and rivalry. But underneath all of those conversations is a very simple idea. If you want to become a better negotiator, you have to become a better student of people. What they believe, what they fear, what they assume, what makes them feel safe, what makes them feel defensive, what gives them confidence, and what helps them make better decisions. And I also want to take this moment to say thank you to all of you out there, my listeners and viewers, and all of my guests. Everyone who's listened, watched, subscribed, shared an episode, sent in a question, joined the conversation, or told me about something from a podcast that helped you think differently about negotiation, communication, leadership, real estate, or relationships. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And if you haven't subscribed right now, smash that like button.
Smash the like button. Thank you very much. The success of this podcast means a lot because it tells me there are people out there who are serious about getting better. People who care about lifelong learning, people who are committed to their craft, people who understand that whether you're in real estate, business, education, coaching, leadership, or parenting, the ability to understand people and help them find better solution matters. So thank you for believing that negotiation is not something to fear, avoid, or reduced to tactics. It's something to understand, to practice, and to create better outcomes for everyone involved. And that's Shear Line for today, everyone. Thank you. You can support the show by following, subscribing, rating, and reviewing this podcast on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Just go to getmorenetwork.com, and there you can check out all of the amazing episodes on the More Network, including past episodes of Shear Line. You can find me all over Instagram at archway.partners, as well as on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at Eirik the Expert. You can contact the Excelsior team at BHS by going to bhsusa.com. And you can connect with my coaching company, Archway Partners Coaching, by visiting archwaypartnersinc.com.
archwaypartnersinc.com.
All right, get ready for your big closer, all right? Remember, there's a key for every lock, but it's the right combination of grooves, cuts, and teeth that lifts the pins and creates the shear line. Until next time, keep turning curiosity into connection, mystery into mastery, and keep unlocking what's possible.
This has been Shear Line, everyone. Have a good night.
What do you really need to know about buying or selling a home? First, it's serious business, and it's complicated. There's a lot of money on the table, and emotion too. You need an agent who knows the ropes. So, whether you're buying or selling your home, work with professionals who have a mastery of the craft.